Okay, so that's all showing up there. Is it showing up on YouTube? Hello, this is the first time I'm streaming on YouTube. I don't actually know where this is showing up. It says started though. And there it appears to be. Okay. If you're currently watching this, hi. I assume you're watching the VOD. Because I have not shared it in the Discord yet, which it has now been shared in. And then, is it real? Okay, I'm flipping between 19 different screens here. Let's see. Okay, so this seems real. Oh, yeah, we do have someone. Hi, Jay. Welcome. We're doing leaf coats. I said that. I'm doing hollows. I'm going to see how this goes. Yeah. Just do normal because hollows has killed me before with leaf coats. Now that's not. Hello, Tana. Is this? Okay, there we go. Now I can see it. In chat, I'm trying to jump between multiple different screens here. Stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended. What is the recommended? Stream bitrate of 68,000. Hey, it's been a long, long time since I've tried to stream. So I hope this goes well. Yeah, Jay, I really appreciate you you staying up to see it. When you said that, I was like, oh no. I hope that they're not staying up too late. I was making dinner and I kept messing up, and so I had to push things back again and again. But I did get out here finally. Hollows I have played about an hour of with the leaf coats. So, well, I've played an hour successfully. I've played about 4 hours unsuccessfully. So, this will be great. What do I want to call the settlement? We'll go with on time stream. Because that's what this was. For sure. Okay. And then I've got to play the game. So we'll get them there. I do realize that the background music is no longer playing, seemingly, and I will get to that in just a now. What if I turn it up to 35? There we go. Now that may be too loud. If that's too loud, then let me know, and I'll turn it back down. Really flying by the seat of my pants here. That's the vibe tonight. Okay. So that is all the wood, and then, of course, water. I think. Someone should really make a guide about this game. Okay. They do get a negative modifier for chopping trees. That is a thing. I've not found a way to not chop trees at the beginning. If there is a way, maybe I'm just not very smart. The thing I do need to do, I have found on this map, if I just use these berries, everybody will perish. So I will need to build them a way over here and hope that everybody stays alive. What is happening there? We'll ignore it. This is interesting, what it keeps doing with these paths. Do I have to... There we go, okay. And... Nope, that's wood. We'll do... What will happen if I leave it like that? I mean, it does kind of look safer. Plant murderer. There's that debuff. But yeah, I don't know if... I've not found a way with leaf coats, at least, to avoid chopping wood in the very beginning. So maybe there is a way, but... Not that I know of. And they're angry already. Okay. And then... What was the next thing? We'll let them get all that. I'm going to need food quicker than normal, or a way to get more... Is this even connected? It does look like it is. What is happening with these paths? Okay. So what? It's the forester that I need, which I don't need planks for, because I need a way to get food quicker. Because in my experience, and again, I've played maybe an hour successfully of the leaf coat, so maybe my experience is not worth diddly squat here. All these berries, at least on this map, all these berries end up being not grown up enough before the beavers start dying. So I'm trying to avoid that. And I'm hoping this will be good enough. Although, I do have the ladders, so I could send them all the way over here if worst comes to worst. I'm going to try to avoid that. This one has no water. But there is water being produced. Okay. Those guys are cutting wood. Was there... Can this plant mangroves? It can. My goal right now is just to make as many possible food sources as I can and then hope for the best. Okay. So we've only got one without a job. They've got food. The forester is planting. They're not going to overbreed. We'll give them a little more berries. So I'm hoping that from this point, I don't have to stress out about what's happening on screen anymore. How is everybody else doing tonight? I know, and Jay, you might be tired. And I will leave this up on YouTube as a VOD. So if anyone does want to watch it afterward, they're obviously welcome to do that. Working on some writing while watching the stream. And Jay, you said you think we're in the same time zone. Now, I will say, the time zone I put in Discord was just for, you wake up at 4 a.m. for work? Oh my god. I'm sorry. I could not do that. I wake up at, what, 8:30 a.m. for work, and that's pushing it for me. So I'm feel so bad for you. Thank you so much for staying up to see the beginning of the stream. I would not have done that if I was waking up at 4 a.m., but it's I do really appreciate it, because I don't know how this is gonna go. And then Tana, you said you are writing while watching the stream? And if so, I hope that my rambling is not too distracting. Depends on the shift when I have to wake up. So both of you wake up very early is what I'm getting here, which my wife wakes up super early for work. And I do not understand that. She is also, I don't know when she gets in, but it's early. It's earlier than I wake up, I believe. But then I stay up later, so I don't know what that means. As long as you're in bed by 10, Jay. Well, you've got 20 minutes. I could try to make something interesting happen. Just turn on, what is it? The dev mode and kill all the beavers. That'd be interesting. Oh, yeah, factory work. That makes sense. That'll get you up early from what I've heard. I've been lucky enough to not have to work in a factory, but I've known many people who have. And someone I know hit a deer while working at a factory because they were getting up so early. So I hope that doesn't happen to you. What am I storing? Why did I build this? I'm just... What should I build from here? Probably log storage, looking at what's happening. Tana, you say you've lost track of the number of times you've written to a background noise of Tutopolis or Siltforge. I've heard that from some people, that they like to use the episodes of things I do as background noise, which does not offend me. I appreciate that I am calming enough that you can do that. But is kind of a funny compliment when you think about it. Just your voice is good enough that I don't have to pay attention to it. Jay, you said you hit your neighbor's mailbox this morning. Was it a... I'm hoping not a brick mailbox, because that would have been bad for your car. I saw a TikTok of someone who hit a brick mailbox and destroyed it, but claimed that they were going 6 miles an hour, which I don't think is possible. I'm just going to keep building this. What is your car okay? Because that would... I mean, I guess it would depend on the car and how fast you were going. Oh my god, I am so sorry, Jay. Those, I guess good for the mailbox owner, though. What have I built? Oh, a small pile. How did I do that? Oh, because I'm on them. We will store some water. Oh, I mean, it's a good story. That's one of those things. Totaling your car, hitting a mailbox in the morning, but getting it back into your yard is one of those things that, like, 10 years from now, you'll be telling to a coworker and it'll make a great story. But I'm guessing is not terribly fun in the moment. So I hope tomorrow goes better. What am I needing to do here? I've not been paying attention to the game, even though it's on 3 speed, which might be a poor choice. See, they don't have enough berries on this map. Well, I'm going to send them off on a journey and see if that helps. Oh, I'm sure beavers will be harmed in the making of this stream. That's really not up for debate. Somehow I find the leaf coats to be the hardest of the factions, even though I don't think they're intended to be. But I'm hoping no saves need to be restarted in the course of this stream. I think that is my only... I mean, there's this, but... I think that's my only other option for berries. Because everything else is going to take too long to regrow, and then these will... Obviously, they'll produce more berries eventually, but... There's no food. Man, this is going to go poorly, ain't it? Let's get 2 more beavers. And really, I should build multiple over here because they're going to be going a long way. Yeah, there's really no other options for berries. So perhaps I will end up with a accidental purge of beavers here. And they're already getting hungry. But they only have 3 more things to build before they can get more berries. Okay. these apples are going to be still 2 more weeks before they produce anything. The mangroves, it's over a week. This is the difficulty with leaf coats that I have found, which is that it is very map dependent on whether or not you just run out of food at the very beginning. Which could also, in theory, be this map, if I'm being honest. It could just be Hollows is not very good for anything that that can't farm, which I guess is only a leaf coat's problem. The inability to farm. Many beavers will be harmed in the making of this stream. That I can almost guarantee. Not intentionally, just for me being actually bad at this game. And the drought is approaching. Oh, I should probably dam this water up now that I think about it. God, I'm so bad. So bad. Okay, hold on. I'll turn it down to 1 speed. Do have these power dams. Are they much? We don't need power right this second. I will build 3 dams there. And then I will probably regret that very, very soon. Oh, there we go. Things were freezing. I have just noticed. I think my computer's recording. See, this is why I wanted to get this stream, or why I only really advertise the stream in Discord, because I'm like very, very unsure of. I don't remember anything. It is a Timberborn stream, and this is a Timberborn river. Might want to turn working hours up. Good idea. I always forget to do that. I either forget to do that. 24 is probably too many. I always forget to do that, and then forget to turn it back down after I have done so. It's not very smart of me. I'm going to... I must have a setting checked. Automatically record when streaming. Okay, I can turn that off if I'm... And then stop the recording, which shouldn't stop the stream. Okay, cool. Wondering why beavers aren't happy after like a month of working hours is definitely a thing. Yeah, it's for sure a thing when I... Anytime I turn working hours up. Because I never, ever, ever remember to turn them back down. But the food, okay, well, I was going to say the food issue has been solved, but it's been solved for about a day. I guess these are kind of blooming. So between 3 blueberry patches, we may have enough food. Or I may have another mass dying like I've had every time I've played the Leaf Coats. Yes, Stormtrooper, this is a modded faction. It's by the same person who did Ember Pelts. I did not double check if there was a more updated version of this mod before I started. They may have updated it and I'm playing an older version. I'm not sure. Jay, you say you can't tell me how many times I've killed beavers for leaving working hours on 20. Yeah. Yeah, that's always an interesting one when you just see kind of the mass die off from beavers not being able, or yeah, not being able to fulfill their needs, not sleeping or eating or drinking because they're working too much. 18 hours day one and rarely drop them until I start going. Yeah, I guess you could. 18 is a nice little working medium there. Maybe I should do 18. There's an update for the mod that came out today. Interesting. Do you have any idea what was in it? Because I'm guessing I don't have it. Whatever the update was. Now, I did not check, so maybe it would, but... Leaf coats, early access. Well, it appears to have a different name currently on Steam than, because it now says early access rather than beta. So could be that I'm missing something, but we'll never know. We could pretend. I'll pretend that this was recorded yesterday. For me, it's currently the 24th, apparently. Now, while I'm here, where does the water go? The water runs off this way. Wow. And it goes from a lot of different places. So that'll be something to keep in mind if I want this area to be filled with water. This also, Hollows is such a confusing map to me. And I don't know what I'm going to do when I get a bad tide, because that's just going to ravage this whole thing. But that's a later me issue. Does this faction have a farm? No. So the thing with the leaf goats is that it is all... Where is it? Food. So there's nothing under crops. You can't build a farmhouse. It's all built by the forester. So blueberries, I think you can eat grapevines, not sure. And then you have mangroves and apple trees for wood. There may be other things that I'm just not familiar with. Food processor, it looks like, turns that into a weird medley of things. And then, oh, chestnuts, that's the other one. And they can actually, oh, they can eat fermented dandelions. Jay, you do not need to stay up to see if I let them walk through the bad tide. I will absolutely accidentally let them walk through the bad tide. That is definitely going to end up happening. You can just kind of rest assured on that one and see it in the morning. They'll just eat plain grapes. Really? What was I doing? Power levy. No. Power dam. Okay, well, let's try this then. Well, I probably need to plant grapes if I'm going to try this. I'm very smart. Okay. This can go all the way over here. So we'll just see what these grapevines do. 5 and 7, 3 and 3. So it may be that I'm just dumb and I should have immediately... Yeah, I'm thinking I should have just immediately planted a bunch of dandelions and then... I mean, I could have just done power dams from the beginning because I'm immediately destroying these. So let's see. Power is there. Power dam. And then I already have fermenter unlocked, which does not have a fun leaf coats version, but that's fine. I'll live. Oh, you know what I don't have? Food, for one. But any science points? How's this doing? I will pause one of these, because I don't need two of them running over here anymore. These look like they're... Yes. These are starting to bloom. Do I have platforms? No. I could build on top of a dam, which I will probably just have to do. I am so good at the game called Timberborn. So I'll build a fermenter. I will... No, I've just remembered how Jenga works. That was almost done. This is going well. Fermenter. Okay. The original plan here was that I was going to know what I was doing. And yet, here we are. Why does the camera let me do that? Well-being has gone up. Yeah, I really don't know what I'm going to do when I have a bad tide. But that is future me's problem. Okay, but this now says it doesn't have power. Oh, these must not transmit power up. Things are going well here and whatever I called this. Okay. Those take planks. Oh, and I don't... Third time's the charm. We'll destroy that, and then we will build a power levee, because I don't need science points to build that. All right. Things are getting going. We're picking up the pace here. Can you imagine if I was playing White Tails? Is that what they're called? The real complicated one. That would be such a mess. Turn this back to dandelions, which should bloom soon. And our apple trees are blooming, and our mangroves are blooming. White paws, thank you. White tails sounded offensive somehow. Okay. So now the real question becomes, am I ever going to advance past the stage of barely surviving? And the answer to that question is maybe. I could build the... Ooh, what are you doing? I could give us some mangrove fruit storage and some fermented dandelions. It's such an odd choice for food. Okay. I should probably tell them to chop down these trees. There's plenty of choices of logs. All right. Grapevines are growing. Dandelions are growing. Mangroves have grown. Apple trees are going to produce apples at some point. And I think I need another gatherer for those? Question mark? Fermented dandelions are actually a real thing. Interesting. I wonder how they are in real life. Have you ever had them? I've seen a dandelion. I've never eaten one. Okay. So there is a full floor housing. Pruning flag gathers bark and branches. Okay, we need a lumber mill is what I think I'm determining. Which I will build right there. It's very green. Pretty close to kimchi or collard greens depending on the process. Interesting. I don't know if my yard has dandelions anymore, really. In my current place. But I've literally never heard of that, but now I'm intrigued. I'm gonna have to find more information. Not during the stream. I literally, I was about to grab my phone, and then I was like, no, don't, don't do a Google search in the middle of the stream. This is a thing I do while recording, not Google search. Well, sometimes Google search, but just pause the recording to look something up on my phone. It is not great when I'm editing. I'll be honest there. I was going to say something about dandelions, but now I can't remember what it was. There's no worker for that. Okay. Is there a worker for this? Is. You can work over there. I don't know where that worker has gone. Okay. Why do we have no beavers alive? Okay, you don't need to be employed anymore for now. Someone in there, someone in there. Is someone gathering apples? Will they eat those? Yes, satisfies hunger. Okay. Doesn't seem like it's a popular thing. I just like trying weird recipes I find online. I wish I could be like that. I won't say I'm a picky eater, although maybe someone would. But I really do not. If I already know I like the food, I'll try something from random that I find online, but I'm not brave enough to go trying things people say on the internet. So now I'm tempted, not tempted. I do want to hear about the non-traditional things that you find on the internet to eat, because fermented dandelions. I guess you can ferment anything that's a plant. Highest well-being ever, 8. Or is that sideways infinity? It's 8. But I never would have thought fermenting dandelions. Oh, come on. I was doing a cinematic thing. Okay, we will let this... I need plank storage. I'm just going to keep building this one tower up in the middle until it stops letting me. Because I really liked SimCity. Jay says, off to bed, but going to leave this running. Try and type a message up in Discord to borrow some of my stranger foods. I would love to hear it, because I am very interested. That sounded facetious when I said it a second ago, but I am legitimately interested, so please do. So. Yes, also, have a good night. Thank you for staying up. I hope tomorrow goes better than your story from this morning. Okay. Am I moving the camera around enough here? Okay. I'm doing way better on this one than I've done in my past leaf coats. I'm going to save on time stream. Tacos for dinner. I love tacos. Oh my god, I love tacos. Now I'm just thinking about tacos. Okay. What am I doing? Industry, I need a lumber press. But I don't have the science for that. So, I will wait. And I also need sap. Oh, boy. Okay. I will have this forester plant some pine trees where they can. Which will be there, I guess. Then I want to make sure none of this is going to be cut down. Another drought is approaching. That's what I want to hear. More chances for my beavers to pass away. I'll eventually build a dam down here. I'm not gonna... Should stop throwing the camera into the terrain. So it does look, it says grapes satisfy basic need hunger. So it does look like grapes will also, I think that's just, there's nowhere to store it. But they will satisfy hunger in and of themselves. So that's good to know. We have one beaver not working. Lazy of him. And I should probably make them work in the forester so that they plant the things that I just spent time saying that should be planted. And then Tapper Shack, I think is... No, it's not automatically unlocked. Boo. Okay. But the pruning flag... gathers resources from wild plants. Does everything... It also says wild, which I'm not jazzed about. If that means that it has to be not... And that's probably not what it means. But if it did mean that it had to be not... What am I trying to say? Can I finish my sentence? If it meant it had to be not farmed, that would be wild. So prioritize bark or branches is my option there. And the forester's pretty much done. Go see what happens when you go on the pruning flag, please. Nothing to do in range. Okay. So does he need permission to cut trees? No. Okay. Follow up to the follow-up. What the hell am I doing? Oh, there's only certain ones that produce these things. I really know what I'm doing here. Okay, we'll do a new forester because I'm so flush with jobs. And then this forester is going to plant eucalyptus and willow trees. And I guess have the ability to plant a lot more mangroves. So we'll... Hey, Timberborn? I don't think this is the place I want to plant mangroves. I'm going to be honest. Oh, here's a question. Tana, if you're still here, did an ad play before this, this stream? Because I don't know whether it was supposed to or not. Because I don't know what I'm doing. This is the first time I've ever streamed on YouTube. So... I don't really know how it works. You did not get an ad before starting the stream. Good. I did not want you to. I was just unsure. We're about to run out of water. Okay. I think I can technically make it play an ad. I'm not going to. Insert ad, delay ad, highlight video, stream marker. Not doing any of that. Okay. I really hope no one comes to this stream looking for information on how the leaf coats work. Because this is not the place to get it. These are going to take days to grow and then days to produce anything. But I will slap a pruning flag down and then delete this one. Yeah, I don't know what the plan is, what my plan is when this bad tide gets here eventually, because we're about to hit the cycle where they can start to happen. Because this stuff is way out of... Tool factory needs metal. Yeah, this might be brutal. I don't know if this one's gonna survive. Okay, we could start... building a second tree on the other side. Is there a reason for this? Nah. I just like it. And then I'll make this a full living tree. I guess all trees are living. I want to see if this will work or not. It will. Okay, so that somehow works. Good to know. It's not going to work unless I only do houses here, but we can do that. So, leaf coats going well, I guess. This guy is functionally unemployed. What else do we need? I'm going to build another research. Then someone will go work there. Okie doke. Got 10 extra beds. Plenty of food. Wow. Food puzzle has been solved. Not a lot of wood, but that's maybe fine. What else did the leaf coats have? I'm just going to go through there. They got these branches that I don't understand how these work. think you put them like on the side or something. Oh, that's a fun thing I could look at. Well-being buildings. Garden. Okay. Is this... Okay, so they've just taken a campfire and put... Rather than a... That's so loud. Rather than a fire in the middle of it, they have put a tree. Observation terrace. Appears to be built... Where does this go? What? How do I build this? Am I crazy in thinking that it looks like it should be built... Terrace goes off the side of a branch. That would make sense. I have this vague memory of the first time I tried this mod. Okay, maybe this... Okay, so yeah, that can be placed like that off of these. Branches, I had assumed would be placed in a similar fashion. I guess we have the materials. I can just start. Can connect to the side of many true style buildings. Okay, and... That is very clearly not the intent. But it's not connecting to the side of these? Or does it need... There's no way it needs to be supported, right? That would be weird. Oh, but it can... So it will build there, but then it won't build up one? Does it need a platform? Oh, it does need a platform. Okay, we're learning. That also makes some sense with the observation terrace then. A little sense. But not a ton. I still would have thought that it could be built... What'll happen here? I guess I don't need that. Depends on the building you're trying to build it off the side of. Okay, I could see that. So that okay. I mean, it is a fun looking asset. I'll give it that, but the way I have built this is perhaps... Oh, there we go. That'll look a little better. Even though it's still... Not convinced this is the... Not convinced that this is the intent. The mod author might, in fact, be... Upsetty spaghetti. But, hey, the beavers aren't. The beavers are more than happy. I'm just gonna build one of these just because I like. Oh, and now it won't. Now it's okay. There we go. I just like the look. Look, it's got flowers on it. That's so cute. I guess because they don't have any. They don't have any fire, so it's got flowers instead. Very cute. Very wholesome. Shower looks like just a normal shower. Tooth grindstone or teeth grindstone. Do these hang off the edge? No. Oh, but it's got 3. That's the limit. Dang, it is not late enough for me to be yawning like that. Whoa, it's not late enough for me to be yawning like that or unable to talk. This I will have in just a second once the researchers get back to their job. Okay. Tapper Shack. Go and tap that, as they say in the biz. I do want to unmark these trees at the far end. I have heard, and by heard I mean someone commented it on my last Siltforge video, that doing this will let the trees grow independently, and it seemed like when I tried that it worked. Am I smart enough to, you know, test it for real? Nah. Sorry for how loud my chair probably is, by the way. This gets cut out of every video. The tons of berries being... Okay. Speaking of doing things, which I was not speaking of, we will dam up over here. There's plenty of water. There's not... Ooh, well... I feel like they're researching so slow. Is this slower than normal? What is the... 1 hour for one that is slower than normal? Oh. Also, why do they have bots? I would not have thought that these were bot beavers. I would have thought these would be beavers that would avoid bots. Based off their whole shtick. Metal up there. That'd be a pain to get. But it might be what I go for. Because I do have ladders, and I do have... no sense. Oh. 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 There's a lip there. So when I said no sense, I meant it very literally. Metal placements are rough. I mean, I can get to this. I just have to not be an idiot about it. If I go up that way, and then I go up there, I'm at least at the level. And then I would have I'd have to get back down. Across. And then That'll get me up. It is a long journey to make, I guess, which is not ideal in any sense of the word. But that will technically get me to the metal. Everyone's hungry. There's not a food problem per se. Oh, there's a drought problem though. Oh, and we have our things over here have grown. We have a beaver to work that. They will need somewhere to store it, and also they'll need this, which we don't have the research for currently. I'm getting the impression that maybe this map is just kind of tough. From the way things are going, I think that maybe I have chosen the wrong map. But we'll make it work. Or not. It's very possible that all the beavers die at some point. It's still not cycle 4 yet. I'm under the impression that this is like Dungeons and Dragons, where once I get past cycle 5, really the first badtide. Once I'm past that first badtide, it's basically nothing can go wrong. Now I could do something fun like this, except for I don't want to use those, do I? I just said I don't want to use these. What am I doing other than messing everything up? So I can do that and that. Yeah, early levels of D&D are the only time you'll die. That's the, and really it's... Had a campaign start at level 1 and we nearly lost the wizard first fight. There was a, now this is 5e, so it's not even the current edition anymore. Because the kids play... Well, 2024. But there was a statistic that came out. Now, I don't... It wasn't, like, scientifically rigorous. This was on, you know, the subreddit, the D&D subreddit, where they had just kind of surveyed people. And it found that 90% of character death happens at level 1. And basically, if you get past that point, then you are unlikely to die in D&D. So, I guess that's the goal. Now, I don't know what I've done here, whether it's going to be good or bad. I have a feeling it's going to be bad. So learning a lot about YouTube streaming, live streaming, like I need to figure out a thumbnail beforehand. Excellent connection, though. That's what you get for having fiber. One was just up here, just wandering. I wonder if I can get him to do that again. I mean, I could also always force him to do that. Oh, oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Certainly lost characters at higher level to sheer bad luck, but level 3 and lower is definitely where the most dangerous, especially when a single crit can deal enough to deal double your damage, or double your max. Yep. That's it. The critty. It's the only time where you can face one goblin, and even the fighter is at danger of dying from just like a 1d6. I have no water. They probably don't like that. Probably do not like... what is the... Why can I suddenly not think of the word when you cannot drink anything? I mean, dying of thirst. But that's not perhaps what I was going for. I've built these on the wrong side. I will need interior lat. No, no, no. Stop it. Hold on. I need to unlock this first. So that I can get planks and wood without killing trees. And then I can start spending the science points on frivolous things. Timberborn goes so much better when I have meticulously planned out the way it's going to go. That's the lesson here. That's not right. When I spend hours upon hours planning out everything I'm going to do in a Timberborn episode, it goes far better than when I'm streaming, and at this point I have too much food. Probably because of those fermented dandelions, which I don't think I am storing. Okay. This is a mess, and it's a mess solely because of who I am as a person. Big windmill to top off a tree, although then it doesn't look like a tree. Shrub and shrub. Raspberry clock, hedge, metal fence, window cage. Let's see. Our monuments. We got the labor monument. This does not feel very tree beaver. And the fountain. See, this would be fun if I could build it on top of a tree. Alas. Oh, they're not getting out here very quick. Oh, because I have no wood. What am I doing? I'm so... Okay. 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 I'm not going to send them all the way out there for wood. I'm going to send them all the way over here for wood. Why? Yeah. And now he's depressed again. That's fine. This is, though, one of the things I do find funny about Timberborn, where you are spending all this time like having beavers over here harvest dandelions to eat, when beavers in real life eat wood. That's what they subsist off of. They should, I mean, obviously that would not make a very exciting game if they ate their building material. Although now that I say it, it would make it interesting if your building material was the same as your food. But it would not be exciting, for sure. So I cannot blame Mechanistry for not going that route. I can blame my beavers for not eating for some reason, though. Y'all need to talk about it? Okay, what is happening? They've got no... They're not eating or drinking of their own volition. Hello? Or they're just going to random places to do it. Alright. I accidentally... When I have nothing to say, I could just, So how's everybody doing? We're just rotating around the colony currently. It's called On Time Stream, based off the fact that the stream was not on time by about an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm fumbling so hard on how the leaf coats, yeah, how they work. We're about to be out of focus and just looking at the map, because this all is going to go right off the edge. Okay, I'm done with that. That was a great bit, me. Everybody laughed. They all loved it. Ha ha ha. I assume those will share. Yeah, I assume those will share. Now that I've unlocked those, I can unlock this. Can't unlock ladder. No, I can't. I cannot do that. I have 7 unemployed beavers. Well, I'm sure it would be easier to employ them if I knew what I was doing. Food is not really an issue. It's just storage that's an issue. And my issue is the lack of storage that I have created. And also the lack of wood that I have, because I'm not doing a good job gathering that. And I had them get the birch, which was a poor choice. Anyway. Now they can finally store bark and branches, and honestly, but no, whatever. I'm going to need to invest in floodgates. Is I think at the very least I can prevent this from having bad water go through it. This will be more of an issue. God, that's just going to kill everything, isn't it? Okay, I was real worried it was going to flash with bad tide happening. So a bad tide, if I'm planning here, is just going to absolutely destroy almost everything. So I think, yeah, I think the play is going to be cutting this off. And honestly, I can do... Can I do levies? No, I can't. I can do power levies. How do those compare? 15 to 12. Actually not bad. I could also just let them get to 120. So, plan here. Cut this off. And then honestly hope that I haven't screwed myself. Oh my god. Yeah, because I guess I can do that again here. Look at those, that texture combined, that's fun. So then this will do curved levee. Oh. This will do that. And as always, I'm going to hope that it's not too far from a district. You just need to build the ladder. So the hope, and hope is the only word for it. Because I'd say plan, but plan implies more meaning. The hope is that they will finish both of these, like this floodgate that they finished. And that number one, this will still allow water to come down through here and not mess any of this up. And then I can hopefully cut this off. And we're going to lose a lot of this. And probably some beavers along the way, because that's how it goes. Oh, I need metal blocks for that. Come on. Which, oh my god. Oh, that's wood workshop. What am I doing? Okay, where's metal? Scavenger flag. 250. Don't have that. Then I need a grinder? Okay, well. Tool factory needs metal blocks. So that's what I should have been doing. As I've been not really looking at the production chain at all. What I should have been doing was building towards metal. Because this is all completely useless without metal blocks. which also requires gears. So I'm going to rethink this whole thing I've done over here. Because I need gears. That's going to be the first thing. I can get gears. Gears are not going to be prohibitive. Once I have gears, I can use those to make a grinder. But I also need metal, you know. Should also, do I have medium? I do. Medium warehouse isn't even what I want. I want something like this. I'll need gears. What else do I need in a warehouse? Pine resin? No. Fermented dandelions I will have more of in a warehouse. Okay, so this will make gears. They can't get everything. That's good. I don't want them to have everything yet. These they're still waiting on. Have they finished these? No. Can't get all the required materials. They're waiting on logs. I'm not chopping down logs. Probably good enough. Because of reasons. So that'll chop. I can pause one of these. Nope, I don't even need to. Because I have 14 unemployed beavers. Hi, Runix. The mod is a bit challenging. And it's especially challenging if you don't know what you're doing. Which I don't. So... I thought the fact that I've many times I have tried to get this colony going on, not in a live stream, but in my personal time, tried to get this colony going in this map in Hollows. And it's a very difficult start, particularly when you don't know that you can ferment dandelions into fermented dandelions. If you're going off of berries, very challenging, because that's apparently not what you're supposed to do. So it's going, though. It's not going well, but it is still going. I'm here, and it's not collapsed yet. Okay, here we have succeeded in building that. This is still building. Oh, here's what I should do. Although I need wood. Now, wood thing's going to be an issue. I can just really pump out researchers. And I could get them to cut down these, maybe. Oh, there's also these fun paths that aren't the same as the normal wooden ones, which I do like. I do appreciate that. Appreciate that detail in something like this. And I'm really focusing on the things I do like, because I'm stupid. A little too self-deprecating there, but okay. This, cut it. Cut down. I need to stop caring about the fact that it gets them all depressed to cut down trees. Cut down the trees. I need the wood. Everybody contribute by cutting down some trees. Runix says, I have problems with this map, probably why I never finished it. Yeah, it's, from what Tana was saying earlier, it's kind of challenging regardless. It feels like if you were on the Iron Teeth, maybe you could not do well, but it feels like it might be geared towards them more than some other ones. Like you could run water through here and, you know, get badwater power a lot easier than on some other maps. But with a faction that needs fresh water the way that the Leafcoats do, or the Folktales, I guess Emberpelts also don't really need fresh water as much. So Emberpelt's Iron Teeth might be able to make good use of the terrain of this map and the benefits, if you want to call them that. But on a freshwater focused faction, it's difficult. It's not going super well. Could be going worse though. I don't want to sound too dour about it. But it's certainly not the best Timberborn map I have done. No, that's not what I mean. It's not the best I have played on a Timberborn map. That's more what I was going for. Okay, 200. Okay, we're screaming along on this research now. Even though literally nothing has changed. There's not an extra researcher over here. But we can unlock our scavenger flag and build a few of those so that they can scavenge. It is an interesting map, though. Like, visually, it's very interesting. And that's what I'll say about it. It's visually very interesting. Oh, we're out of water. Okay. I don't think... Maybe... No, actually. Okay. So, new issue has arisen. I didn't even think about that. We're not actually storing that much water. Like as far as a water storage go. I mean, I guess. I know I don't have the wood for that. No, not wood. The research for that. These two are getting wood now. That's built. At the very least, we will keep some water during a bad tide. That is assuming that they survive with 0 water. Estimated time to depletion, and now. It's not the bad tide, though, yet. The bad tide that is going to destroy us has not come. And honestly, it's not. It could be going worse. Could be going way worse. I mean, could be going way better, but it could be going way worse. All right, so water is being solved. That's good. That's a plus. Wood is being cut. I mean, we're on cycle 4. I'm real worried about this bad tide. I've said it before. I think I'm going to go until the bad tide hits. And then that's probably where I will stop. Unless I just feel like continuing to go. Until we solve the aftermath of the bad tide. currently the bad tide hitting. That is so loud. I mean, it's loud to me. I can turn it down individually. Probably don't need it to be as loud on my monitor as it is. Why don't I do... Well, because it's 40 leagues away from my poor beavers. Everybody please start researching. I'm just going to go hard on these researchers right now. And really on the water, too. I think knowing that the only option for this first bad tide is going to be to weather it rather than do well. That's my plan, at least, because we can't do anything. The part of Tannis is the part of me that likes to watch the world burn, kind of wants to see someone play the White Paws faction on this map. I will not be the person who does that unless I start to want to see my own sanity burn. I've never played the White Paws. I said this in the Discord the other day when it popped up as a question. It's not that I don't think I would like them. It's that I think I would immediately die. Be a great show to watch. Oh my god, please don't tempt me. I'm very persuadable. No, I would need to actually figure out how the White Paws work independently first. Because I don't think anyone wants to watch me stumble through not knowing how the White Paws work at all. I think I would need to have that down to where I could play the White Paws independently and then do it on this map. Oh, wow, that's not very many science points. There's a lot more materials than I have, so maybe I won't do that. But I will build... I just need to store more water, I think. At least that's my plan here. I never want to be that person, I never want to be one of those people who I remember this distinctly right after the White Paws faction hit Steam. I can't remember who it was, but one of those very popular Timberborn content creators apparently played it either on the stream or just in their video and like did not do very well because it's so complicated. And then the creator added the disclaimer of, please know what you're doing before you play this on stream, because it won't be funny otherwise, or it won't be funny the way you think it will if you're just fumbling around. And then now I'm too scared to play White Paws. Because as I've hopefully made clear tonight, I fumble with this, and this is flooded building. Where? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That is how the game works, isn't it? I mean, I fumbled this, and this is purportedly not that hard. Purportedly. That's what I've read. I've read people on the internet say, oh yeah, the leaf coats, They're beginner friendly. What beginner? 'Cause not me. That is no path. Why not? Will that work? Nope, it still says unconnected building. But it literally... Oh, wait. Is it because... I've not built that in the right spot, have I? If I build it like that, can I get up? Now this is just watch me figure out how ladders work. Yes, so what I've determined here is that ladders... That is how ladders work, and also they will... So ladders work the way one would think. And then also they work the way one might think. Okie doke. I mean, like, just imagine this, but white paws. It would be unbearable. I'm gonna put my beavers to work all over the map. Good job, me. All over the map now. There's too many of them. There's not enough food. I need to figure that out, don't I? Because I see that becoming an issue. Now, why am I doing that? There's plenty of room over here. I can build that, though. That's fine. I'll make use of it eventually. Honestly, it seems like dandelions, we double. We double dandelions. I need more dandelions, at the very least. As far as food goes, dandelions seem like a good option. There is one tree that's going to grow in the middle of the dandelion patch. All right. Oh, I should save it before anything else goes wrong. Okay. Cycle 5, day 8. What are we thinking? Are we thinking we're going to have a bad tide this cycle? I kind of assume so. I feel like this is when we should be hitting bad tide time. I mean, it's after cycle 4. Technically, I think. Although I've been known to be wrong before. Nobody wants to build those? That's fine. I actually, thinking about it, yep, I'm down on beaver in the builder hut. We've got injuries. I think I need to spend... Oh, I have a... Whoa, 1,002 science points. Okay, so I can... Unlock medical bed. Pretty easy. Easy peasy. These are producing gears, I guess. Power input is not nearly... Oh. Oh yeah, that's part of the game. Yeah, that's how the game works. Oh my god. Can they build that? They look like they can build that. Although that's an awful spot for it. I think that's where I want it. Because at the very... Oh... It is just kind of an awful spot, because we're going diagonal with that flow. I think that'll be the best for now, though. This one will be more... What is up there? Okay. 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 Things are happening. I don't think these are... I don't know what issue I've caused, but I don't think whatever I've done is going to solve it. I don't think this is the solution. I think this was a bit of a panic is what this was. Yeah. Okay. I'm taking this again. I just saw myself running out of power and I thought, oh no, must do something. Okay, I'm going to put one there. I'm going to go to power. I'm going to unlock vertical power shaft because we do have gears now. I do need one platform first. And then I can do vertical. That's all the way up. Over. Okay. So that should produce a decent amount of power. What else do we need? I could do another one here. Nope. That's a bad spot for it. There? I think there. Oh, actually, what am I doing? What am I doing? Okay. So all I need here is... A levee will block it and keep all the water flowing through there. And we just move that up, too. Now it's got to go through that. And honestly, I can probably just repeat that. And here we just need So that should force all the power through these power wheels. Right? Right. I think so. I've played a lot of this game. I played far too much of this game to be fumbling this hard. But I believe we should be good on that. They do need a way down over here. And up. Where are my ladders? Ladder? Ladder. Okay. Can reach all that, supposedly. Going well, going poorly. One of the two. It's another drought. At this point, it is a cruel twist of fate, honestly. I worried about what would happen with a bad... Oh, and we're out of... No, we're not out of anything. I was so worried about what would happen when the bad tide hit that I did not consider, what if we never get a bad tide? What if we're so far along? Oh... Okay, well. Hey, at the very least, once this is built, we'll have enough power to run everything over here. And we will have a lot of science points. So we can, honestly, where's this grinder? We can build a grinder. Maybe? Yeah, okay, it'll fit there. So we can build a grinder there. Run it off that. I think this is just one of those situations where the only thing we really can do is wait. So then once we have the grinder, we'll have metal blocks. And then once we have metal blocks, we can make the lumber press. And once we have the lumber press, we can get wood without needing to cut it down. But I've skipped like 7 steps trying to get there early is what happened here. And that's on me. I'll take the fall for that one. We also still do not have, well, we maybe have enough dandelions, but maybe not enough dandelion gatherers. We don't have enough wood. So what I need is to actually have the forester build something to cut, I think. Because right now, neither of our there's 2, 3? How many foresters are there? There's 2. So right now, neither of the foresters are building trees that we're actually cutting. So I think that, and I'll get rid of these. No, I'll cut those. I think that is the inherent issue with wood that I'm currently facing, is that nobody is cutting it. Hey, look! Right as the drought hits, this is finally done. That's fine. Not everything can be planned perfectly. That's what I told my wife at my wedding, and she was not happy with me. Oh, that'd be such a mean thing to say at a wedding. Okay. Nothing to do in range. Correct. Building lacks workers. Hmm. Pause these. Really, all of them, I think. Wow. Okay. Stop fumbling. We'll get them to cut these. This is all going to be fine up here. So I assume I have enough water stored. And you know what they say about assumptions? They're great to do. Can't get the required materials. Probably like one plank. Let's see. One plank. Cool. Also, it's so weird to hear the Timberborn music. I play with the music off when I'm filming, and then when I'm actually playing the game, I usually have it off because I'm listening to something else. So it's so weird to hear the Timberborn music appropriately played again. Why is everybody starving? We do store regular dandelions. So this is interesting. Is there no gatherer? Or is he just too busy? Because we're running out of food constantly. But we have food. Like, there's food on... Well, no, not the apple trees. There's food on these. There's grapes. There's food on these. Because that's not... No, that should be gathered by the gatherer. I don't know. This looks like a maple tree, but it's not. This guy's thirsty in the water. I'm so... But I have not killed everyone yet. That's an improvement. I don't know what it's an improvement over, but... It's an improvement over me having killed everyone. I'm going to do this preemptively just because I remember Jay saying they thought I was going to make all of my beavers die in the bad tide, and honestly, I probably still will by accident because I'll let them walk down here. But I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try to make my beavers not get contaminated intentionally. And you know what I've never built? A hauling post. Am I going to build one now? No. But I've still not built one as well. More grapes. I really need to stop building housing, because this has become part of the issue. There's too many beavers eating. And not enough beavers working. Okay, so okay, we've hit the point where we've got these 7-day-long droughts, still no bad tide. And now I am regretting saying I was going to continue indefinitely until a bad tide hit. Because I'm not convinced that a bad tide is going to happen, ever. I think I've accidentally loaded a map that doesn't have bad tides. Oh. It does have beavers that don't know how to drink water, though. Certainly odd. Okay, now the drought is over. See, it's like we're on cycle 6. My throat is starting to hurt. I need to pee. I don't need to pee. But imagine if I did. You could see how that could cause issues. We don't need all these. That was fun while it lasted. We'll go back to doing other jobs that are medically necessary. Well, big 300 output on that. That one, meanwhile, is doing 100 output. So, like I said, this one was more of a panic. Can't get all the required materials. Well, get them. Get them because I need you to work. So that all this works, and then we're not working at 26% productivity. God. Come on. Where are the planks going? Oh, this is what's making planks. Okay, turn that off. Okay, they built that, and then now they gotta build this power shaft. Then we can turn that back on. Okay, we now have a bit more closer. Oh, that's fallen. But the system is closer. Oh, we're actually above. We're above the power demand. So we'll start with that. We're getting there. It's kind of a mess, but we are getting there. Is there a decoration I can slap here? No. A bench that nobody can get to. Yeah. I think I'll pass on that one. So there's no planks. It's like it's like there's no planks. It's like we're living on a plankless world. So if I get the ability to tunnel eventually, I could just tunnel right there. Dump all the bad water down there. So how do we get to that? How do we get to the point where we can build tunnels? Tunnels. Here we go. Remove terrain. Loosen terrain. Those are different. Okay. That's... We need a tool factory, which we can build, and then we can loosen terrain. Are we going to survive? Say it ain't so. Well, we're not going to survive if I've built this the way I have. And really, why have I built it the way I have? Okay. So we can build this, the tool factory, right there. We need a lot of things. Such as we need this grinder to actually be working. And then we can build the tool factory. So once the grinder works, we can build a tool factory. That we can then use the tools to loosen terrain, which can then be removed, I guess. Seems like that's how it works. Plant trees. Oaks, I guess. And this I'll actually replace with pine. And maybe one day we'll move the tapper shack up here, but for now, we'll get some plant murderers. You can just cut all this, all of it. Get it gone. Get it here, then get it gone. These are still doing oaks. Might open a new one of those. Might turn him off. Juggling work is so fun and fulfilling. Make that slightly more. Okay. I've got 19 projects going at once. So if you're just joining, I don't know who would be just joining, but if you are just joining, the current modus operandi, I'm not using that correct. We need to build this one levee to build this one power shaft to get enough power up here to run everything, which includes this grinder, which we need 4 metal blocks so that we can build a tool factory, so that we can build shovels, so that we can come down here to landscaping and get loosened terrain, and we can dig a tunnel all the way over to here so that when a bad tide eventually does hit, it will not destroy the colony. That is the plan. That is the plan. Except for I have just realized that these do not function like tunnels. Okay, here's the plan. Gotta get bad water so that we can get extract. How do we get extract? Can we make extract? We gotta be able. Centrifuge, centrifuge, centrifuge. Am I dumb? Am I dumb? Step 1. Here's the plan. Oh, wait. Oh. Okay. So, new plan. New plan. I've determined there is no centrifuge. The only way to get extract is through a badwater rig. There's also no badwater pump. We have badwater domes, no badwater pump. So, the new plan, I'll have to get rid of some of this. We're going to send the water over here, down this way, kill all this. I don't even care. And then we'll dump it out on the other side over here so that it flows off. The broad strokes of this plan have not changed. Other than I'm going to pause that so that we can have all the planks that we want. And when I say the broad strokes have not changed, I mean everything has changed. It's entirely different. Still think it'll be fine, though. What are our builders doing all day? Not working, that's for sure. What are they doing? Oh, building. Okay. Building one of the things that's part of the plan. You know, I can't fault them for that. For doing the thing I asked. But I am suddenly Far less confident. I mean, did you hear me for a minute there? I was like talking about the plan. I knew what was happening. I knew that it was all going to be okay. That is all very quickly falling apart. There's still an order of operations, though. This needs to be completed first. Do that first. We'll have the power. With the power, we can build a grinder. With the grinder, we can build the tool factory. With the tool factory, we can build the tools, and then we can cut the way down here. But then we also need to build these. But that'll be... Okay, grinder. Here's the thing. We need a beaver in the grinder. Probably don't need as many beavers pumping their logs, so we'll turn that off. We might need more beavers bumping their pogs, though. Sorry. Just take planks, so don't build that yet. This is built. Good. This is still not built. Bad tide approaching. Okay. What do we think? We think that we're gonna... We got 3 days for the bad tide. I don't know, gang. I don't know, we think we're gonna get the plan in place. This guy's not even working. We have a plan. The plan needs to be executed in the next 2.3 days, or else the bad tide will come ripping and roaring through our colony. You know, I believe in the ingenuity of our beavers. They apparently can't get the required materials. So... Oh, this is nice. This goes over the little river. That's pretty. I believe in our beavers too, Tana. I think they'll figure it out. And I think we won't lose all of our mangroves in one fell swoop. And everything else over here. But, you know. Step 1, make the plan. Step 2, execute the plan. Step 3, oh God, here comes the bad tide. Step 4, recover. So this is the first bad tide, which is normally pretty short. Unless, I mean, I've never had the first bad tide hit cycle 6. So maybe it'll be longer than I'm thinking. But I feel like usually the first bad tide is only a day. It'll kill some of this stuff for sure, but I don't think it'll destroy the entire colony. I think. I'm really really banking on hope here, but and this is not making metal blocks in any overly enthusiastic fashion because it needs 5 scrap for 2 metal blocks. Okay. So it's a storage problem. Problem? Oh! Okay. Pause. There are things that need to be done, such as destroying this ladder, such as closing this floodgate, such as closing this floodgate. I could raise this floodgate for a minute so that I can... Oh! The floating path. The floating path. Almost. Got us in trouble there. Okay. So nobody should be walking through the water anymore. Unless they decide to go over here for some reason. But at that point, that's survival of the fittest. Everybody is hungry, which does not make sense. I think we are just going to have to live with... Oh no. Oh no. I'm sorry, I've screwed up. Okay. All of our mangroves are going to die. That's okay, we can live with that. Nobody's contaminated, despite what I just did. Okay. If we don't flood, we're flooding a little. Why is that suddenly flooding? It might just be temporary. It's hopefully just temporary. Okay, it's just temporary. All right. No one's contaminated. Bad tide is over in a day. All of our mangroves are dead. Tana says, from my understanding, the drought bad tide handicap only tick when the weather happens. That's good to know. Oh, that's the other thing. I don't know what I mean by the other thing. Speaking of when weather happens, there is that mod that adds like the extra weathers. I want to play around with that at some point. Probably on stream, because I think it's... it makes more sense for me to do that on stream than in like a guide video. But maybe I'll do it in a series or something one day. But for now, it would be... Oh, wow, look at... Hold on. I'll keep saying what I was saying. But this texture for dying due to contamination on the grapes is brutal. Wow. I really like that. But yeah, no, there's the mod that adds like a bunch of extra weathers. And I think that is so much fun. I really want to play with that at some point. I mean, I keep saying I will, as we have seen, perhaps do a bit extra research beforehand before I just jump into stream with it, to see how it works and all that. But I want to do it for fun. And I hope, so since I'm here, since you're here, since presumably the people in the future who are into these are watching, I'm hoping. So obviously this one was a bit of a test. And I'll continue doing this Leaf Coats colony. Well, I guess I should say. The plan for the future. Since we did just get hit by the bad tide, which I said was going to be the end. So I'm going to end it real soon. I think the plan for the future. I do want to continue to stream this colony. Just continue on with the Leaf Coats. I guess until we finish, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how long it'll last. This colony in particular. So I wanna finish, quote unquote, what I'm doing here on stream. And then I do want to kind of play around with other things, like I was saying, the bad weather mod, and I want to do hard mode. I don't think I'm going to be able to make that a video, so I kind of want to try it on stream, doing hard mode. And then I don't know what else. But I do, the grand point here that I'm making is I am going to start doing more streams. I'm not going to commit to a schedule yet. In my head, I want to say, oh, I'm going to commit to doing it every off week. Every week where I'm not releasing a video, I'll do a stream. But I don't know if that's going to be doable for me, or if it's going to be something that other people want to watch. So I'm not going to commit to that. I will commit to doing more streams in the future, though. That's for sure. At some point, I do want to see if I can get cross streaming or whatever it is to work, doing it from here and from Twitch. Just because obviously anyone here right now is from YouTube. I think everybody who has commented is somebody that I recognize from the actual like Timberborn Beginner Survival Guide or Siltforge stuff. So oh, Tanner, you're still here. Well, I'm glad to hear that you would love to see more streams. So yeah, I'm going to do more. Not 100% sure on when, but I do enjoy it. It's fun. It's fun to play and have the feedback and get to talk to y'all a bit. So I will be back with it again. It'll definitely stay at least on YouTube. But again, I might try to cross stream at some point if I can ever. I thought it already was working. That's my. I'm not very smart, and I thought I had got it set up, and then part of the reason I was 15 minutes late was because I got up here and I was like, okay, how do I make it work? And then it was like, you can only stream to one at a time, and I was like, so I'm gonna see about getting that working, but I will be back. I don't think I've said officially on the YouTube channel yet. I said it in the Discord, but if you were currently here and not in the Discord, I do have a Discord where I do more announcements, and I had announced this a couple days ago. But the next episode, not of Two Topless, because that's over, but the next episode of Siltforge is on 10/4, which I did not choose because it was a fun day to say, but it is a fun day to say, and I appreciate that. So a week from 2 days from now, a week from this Saturday, is the next episode of Siltforge. And then again, ideally it would be the off weeks, because then there's no off weeks. It's the stream week or the video week, but I don't know if I can commit to that. I'm rambling. Hey, this is fun, because see, this is like in the videos. Every time I do that ending bit, I kid you not. Oh, that's Tanner's birthday. Happy early birthday. Every time I do the ending bit on a video, this is a bit of behind the scenes, it takes 15 minutes to get out what I'm trying to say because I keep rambling. Anyway, we're at almost exactly 2.5 hours, which I think is a good length for a stream. I'm going to save the game. I'm going to... I need to do a thumbnail for the YouTube thumbnail for the VOD of this. Let me get the free cam working. Do I just do the... Ooh, I kind of like that. I like that for the screenshot for the thumbnail. So we're going to do that. Tana, you say Critical Role Campaign 4, new Digimon game on the 2nd, birthday on the 3rd, Siltforge on the 4th. That does, I mean, not Siltforge, because that is way too self-aggrandizing, but yeah, that is a lot of cool stuff in one weekend. So, I am going to end the stream if I can figure out how to do it on OBS. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining me. And for everybody who watches afterward, thank you for being here. It's legitimately, I was kind of worried, but it's been a lot of fun. So thanks for joining me. I had a good time, and I hope you did too. You know, until the next time. I don't know. Do people? It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna end the stream. So have a good night, everybody.